Vice President Kamala Harris can absolutely beat Donald Trump in November, and Donald Trump knows it. That's why he is currently freaking out on Truth Social, and his entire campaign is in a state of disarray. I want to break that down, but first, you guys need to watch this old Kamala ad from 2020 where she rips into Donald Trump and successfully prosecutes the case against him. If you guys like this ad and it gets you excited, leave a like on the video and comment a blue heart, play the ad.
Sick of this? Well, think about this. He's a world leader in temper tantrums. She never loses her cool. She prosecuted sex predators. He is one.
Grab him by the...
She shut down for-profit colleges that swindled Americans. He was a for-profit college.
At Trump University, we teach success.
Literally. He's owned by the big banks. She's the attorney general who beat the biggest banks in America and forced them to pay homeowners $18 billion. He's tearing us apart. She'll bring us together.
Again, that is just great framing. The prosecutor versus the criminal. The prosecutor versus the civilly liable rapist. Again, leave a like on this video if you like this framing. Kamala Harris also tweeted out in 2020, "I prosecuted sex predators. Trump is one. I shut down for-profit scam colleges. He ran one. I held big banks accountable. He's owned by them. I'm not just prepared to take on Trump. I'm prepared to beat him." If Kamala Harris and the Democrats can stick with this framing, the framing of the prosecutor versus the criminal, I think we will have a great head start. I think we will be in a great position heading into this election. Also, fun fact, Donald Trump donated to Kamala Harris in 2011. This reads, "To the order of re-elect Attorney General Kamala D. Harris 2014. Even Donald Trump knows that Kamala Harris is a great pick for office, and this is also a great line of attack during the debates. If Donald Trump says something to the effect of, Kamala Harris is soft on crime, she's not a good candidate, Kamala can say, well, you thought I was good enough, you thought I was a good enough candidate, and I was hard enough on crime, you literally donated to me." It's a great line of attack. On my live stream, you guys helped me lay out the pros and cons of Biden dropping out, so let's go through them really quickly. Leave more in the comments if you have any. So first, let's lay the groundwork. Biden will remain president, but is bowing out of the race. President Biden has officially endorsed VP Harris. VP Harris is the only one that can tap into the campaign's massive war chest. So for some pros, VP Harris can successfully prosecute the case against Donald Trump in a way that Biden just couldn't. I love President Biden. He's been a great president, but he is getting older, and he did have trouble prosecuting that case against Donald Trump. He had trouble explaining why Donald Trump is such a threat to democracy, and I think Harris will be able to do that in a very clean way that will appeal to a lot of voters. Imagine a major event with 50 million people watching, and Harris is able to walk on stage and describe the Raffensperger phone call. She's able to explain how Donald Trump caused January 6th and tried to use fake electors to win the election. VP Harris, I personally believe, could lay this out in a lot more convincing fashion than Biden. Next, the age attack is nullified by a younger candidate. Not only is it nullified, but Kamala Harris is now running against the oldest nominee for president of the United States in American history, Donald Trump. This new VP could also allow us to appeal to different demographics, like Shapiro, if he's the VP, could win us PA. A lot of times, the vice president is meant to pull in demographics that you're weak with. So somebody like Josh Shapiro could win us PA. Somebody from the Midwest could win us the Midwest. It could excite some young voters. Also, MAGA has a lot less time to build up dirt on the new candidate, but on the flip side of that, introducing a new VP candidate risks new dirt, new scandals. We can frame this as prosecutor versus criminal, and Harris will roll through Trump if a second debate happens. Some cons: we lose the incumbency advantage, although is that really an advantage? Because the incumbency advantage used to come from people wanting stability. They wanted the same president, but right now, if you poll most people, they don't think the country is stable, even though it is. Next, sexism or racism could lose us votes. Next, introducing a new VP candidate could risk new scandals. 4 months is not a lot of time to launch a national campaign. Joe Biden's name recognition is sort of lost, but not really, because Kamala is very closely tied tied to Joe Biden. It could hurt voter turnout, but also it could help voter turnout. We don't quite know. We also lose Biden's decades of political experience. And I think that Donald Trump realizes that Kamala might have a better chance, and that's why he reacted like this. He said on Truth Social immediately, "Crooked Joe Biden is the worst president by far in the history of our nation. He has done everything possible to destroy our country, from our southern border," keep in mind Trump nuked the border bill, "to energy dominance, we're drilling at our highest rates ever, national security, Joe Biden has been great for national security and protecting other countries like Ukraine, international standing, Donald Trump was laughed at a UN summit just a few years back, and so much more. He was annihilated in an earth-shattering debate, and now the corrupt and radical Democrats are throwing him overboard. He was not fit to serve from the very beginning, and the people around him lied to America and about his complete and total mental, physical, and cognitive decline. Whoever the left puts up now will just be more of the same, make America great again." He then said, "Crooked Joe just got knocked out, so I'll have to do it for a fourth time." You can tell the Trump campaign is absolutely in panic mode right now. Their entire strategy of painting Joe Biden as an old, radical leftist has to be thrown out the window, and they have to start from scratch. Also, for some quick rapid-fire updates, VP Harris is making calls to Democratic lawmakers. Vice President Kamala Harris has a list of some 200 calls to make Sunday to shore up support for her candidacy for president, a top Democratic source close to Harris told CNN. Also, new Democratic nominee for president shouldn't have trouble getting on ballots in all states. The Democratic Party will now need to choose a new nominee, which seems likely to be Kamala Harris, after Joe Biden announced he would exit the race. After the convention nominates a candidate, many election law experts say they won't have much or any trouble getting on all 51 presidential ballots. Over on Twitter, this take is good. "Harris is such a good candidate because she can credibly claim the accomplishments of the administration without being held responsible for any of Biden's specific mistakes. For example, she can champion all of the legislation like the bipartisan infrastructure deal, like the CHIPS and Science Act, like the PACT Act, while also saying that maybe she has some disagreements on how Biden handled stuff like Israel-Palestine. I'm sure she mostly agrees with him, but Biden was burdened by voters on the left, people that were mostly Muslim Americans, people in my family, the Muslim Americans in my family said they didn't like President Biden because of his handling of Israel-Palestine. Kamala Harris can maybe rebrand herself and not have the same baggage." Mike Sington on Twitter says, "CNN identifies the 4 most likely VP running mates for Kamala Harris, pointing out they're all white men. Senator Mark Kelly, Governor Andy Beshear, Governor Roy Cooper, or Governor Josh Shapiro." Now, as much as I think that diversity on a ticket is good, like for example, if it was Kamala Harris and Jasmine Crockett, I would totally vote for that ticket, but there is something to be said about the strategy of choosing a white man so you can appeal to a demographic you otherwise wouldn't want to, or a demographic you otherwise wouldn't appeal to. If we want to be completely pragmatic, the white men in America make up a large voter base, and we want white men on our side, so picking a white man VP is good for strategy. And again, I'm just talking pure strategy. I would obviously vote for a ticket with 2 women, and I know you guys would too because you guys are cool, you're my audience, but we're talking about the average American who doesn't pay attention to politics. In order to beat Donald Trump, we need the largest coalition possible, and if that means having a white man as VP, I think it is worth a shot. I think it is worth trying. Somebody like Josh Shapiro, who, for example, could give us Pennsylvania if he was on the ticket. That would be a great choice. Let me know who you guys want as the vice president in the comment section below. I love hearing from you guys. Please let me know who you guys want. Make sure you leave a like on this video, comment a blue heart, subscribe. Most importantly, have a great day yourself.